Is mankind, are we good? To answer those questions, I turn to a vacation rental company. Airbnb, which allows users to rent out their homes to visitors, just released a promotional film attempting to show the good-natured and friendly side of humanity. But many think the dialogue is creepy as all hell. But is it?
Is mankind? Are we good? Go look through their windows so you can understand their views. Sleep in their beds so you may note their dreams. Go see and find out just how kind the he's and she's of this mankind are.
Personally, I think the ad's warm and inviting. I don't see what all this is about. I will admit the original version of the ad was a tad creepy. Red Eye was able to get a hold of it for your viewing pleasure.
Is mankind, are we good? Go see. Go peep through their windows and watch them undress. Comb through their medicine cabinet and take their barbiturates. Rifle through their delicates and taste their sweat. Sleep in their beds and await their return. Go see if you can ever sleep again.
Yeah. See, that was a little creepier, wasn't it?
It was somehow, yeah.
It's all the difference in the voiceover, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shows you it's a very important role. Jillian, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you find that ad creepy? I really didn't find the original ad so bad. Well, I mean, not the original ad. The first one, you know what I'm talking about.
The real one. Well,
yes.
You know, through both of them, I was just really impressed with the ambiguously gendered baby. That was going for it.
Aren't
but
they all, though?
Yeah, kind of.
You wanted to see a big swing at next time?
I'd say creepy. I'd say like Alanis Morissette, Your House. I went through your stuff. I took a bath in your bathtub. I found that letter song.
Yes, I know what song you're talking about. Yeah. That would have suited this commercial right here. I think the whole company's a little weird. I don't like this thing about, renting people's apartments. I don't think it's great. Jesse, and now we turn to politics. Camille Paglia has listed characteristics of a woman president, and none involve owning dragons. In a piece for Time magazine, the author and critic dismisses claims that sexism is to blame for why we've never had a female head of state. But she notes there are systemic factors. For example, the president is also commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Therefore, she says women politicians routinely focused on social welfare needs must demonstrate greater involvement with international and military affairs. Also, Paglia writes, voters look for gravitas, and many women who tend to talk faster and smile more than men have trouble with gravitas as performance art. Bottom line, an aspiring woman politician should be more like Merkel, the German chancellor. Quote, she must be statesmanlike, pursuing women's progress without playing victim or bashing men. Interesting. Jill, I'm getting a skeptical vibe off of you as I read her quotes. I don't know. You weren't nodding your head, but I felt a little bit of.
You felt the heat?
I felt disagreement. It was coming off your aura.
I actually agreed with a lot of the points you made. So I'm sorry about my misleading aura.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think we do have more men involved in the military than women. And having a military background has proven to be very helpful when you're running for office. And I think her main point is that women really aren't good at campaigning as much as men. That they can make great presidents, but we're not so great at pumping up ourselves and saying how wonderful we are. So we need to work on that.
That is interesting. Joe, when a woman says it, it sounds fine. But if I were to say they're not as good at all these things, then they would be coming down on me.
Because of Jill's aura, where's your chakras in that department. I think we don't need a female president. We don't need a president like Merkel. We need a president like Urkel. Very non-threatening, but still ethnic.
Did I do that?
See? And how could you hold it against the president?
Yeah. Don't we have a president now who's kind of like Urkel? Let's be honest.
With the skinniness and the high water pants and so forth. Yeah, I think she made some good points. I think we should bypass the female president and go directly to the transgender president, because I think you're really doubling your appeal when you're able to do that.
That's a big hurdle, though, is it not? I mean, we only have one prominent transgendered, is Jenner, right?
Yes.
Is there any others that are, in the
It's
public
going to be that
eye?
baby. It's going to be that baby.
Oh, the Airbnb baby? Maybe, yes.
Ambiguous baby.
Jillian, are men better at projecting gravitas? She talked about, the theater of gravitas, not the actual gravitas, but acting that way, essentially.
I'm skeptical of that. I thought one of her most interesting points in the article was that the women who have succeeded in this have succeeded because they've been promoted through internal party politics, that they've moved up. But if you look at it, that is kind of the Hillary Clinton model. She lost in 2008, and then if you look at it, she's widely recognized as not a very desirable candidate, even by Democrats. So I think her overarching point was that, we need a woman who acts as if her gender is not the issue. But then why wouldn't you want voters to vote like the gender's not the issue?
Well,
that's my critique of it.
Well, but isn't that going to be Hillary's ace going into this election, is that a large number of women, not all, are going to say, I want a woman president, I'm going to vote for Hillary?
I think it could be Fiorina's ace, too.
Of course. And now, when you look down Camille Paglia's list, Carly Fiorina, you could kind of check her off. She had all of those things, did she not, Jesse? Right. Lord known as El Chapo is still at large after tunneling out of a maximum security prison last weekend. The tunnel, a marvel of ingenuity, has already been named Tunnel of the Year by Tunnel magazine. Joaquin Guzman's passageway to freedom was a mile long and tall enough for him to stand up straight in. It used PVC pipes for ventilation and lighting, and came with a motorcycle that was custom built to ride on rails. Not kidding. A DEA agent says it had to cost about $5 million. Okay, our crack graphics team has put together a digital simulation of El Chapo's daring escape. Take a look. He got out. Wow. It almost makes you root for the little guy, doesn't it? Mexican authorities say El Chapo certainly had inside help, and the director of the prison has already been fired, though he maintains he was unaware of any escape plans.
Oh, I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
Jesse?
Some of that terrible German leadership I was referring to earlier.
Wasn't that a great show? Why can't we laugh at sitcoms the way we used to?
I enjoyed that show a lot.
Yeah. Now, this is the second time El Chapo has escaped.
This second time, everybody. Listen, I feel like if you had somebody watch your dog, and then while they were watching your dog got out, and then while your dog got out, he allegedly murdered 10,000 people, you probably wouldn't ask that guy to watch your dog again the next time when you got your dog back, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
You know what I hope that there is some guy in the prison there in Mexico going like, I just miss my friend El Chapo.
It's probably, there's got to be one there.
Yeah, they should probably be looking at El Guantanamo, too. Because that's a place in Mexico that Andy Dufresne ran to.
Speaking of guys and gals, Jill, only a guy could escape like this, right? Because that PVC lighting, it's unflattering, and I don't think women would want to go through that tunnel.
That's true. It's all about good lighting. I'm glad it had nice air ventilation, though. You got to keep the air fresh while you're tunneling through. Speaking of fresh air, aren't you supposed to belly crawl through sewage?
Yeah, right.
Another reference.
Right.
He walked upright. The guy's 5'5" and was able to just comfortably walk upright through the whole thing.
And he rode on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
But, Joe, it seems they said theory is that he had some help. Well, obviously, right?
I don't think this is the guy with the spoon in the Rita Hayworth poster. I'd like to take a look at the minimum security prison in Mexico. He had a rail motorcycle. And not only is that the noisiest form of transportation, but he's like a superhero zipping on out. I think it shows that maybe keeping him locked up was not a priority for some of the people in charge, for El Chapo, which means Shorty, I believe.
Julian, shouldn't they have been suspicious of that bust that when you pull it back and you push the button and the trap door opens?
You'd think that, but he actually had another escape at his house before where Marines had it all surrounded, and he had this secret button on his vanity, and the bathtub popped up, and there was another tunnel, and his bodyguard didn't even know about it. So if the bodyguard didn't know about it, maybe I see it. But I have a great plan for when he gets recaptured.
It's hard to keep track of all the
I want him held above the 2nd Avenue subway.
Because there's no going down there, right?
Yeah.
I think obviously
it'll be finished.
I mean, I don't want to blame Mexico, but I think the government, kind of they like him out, don't they? They don't want him
in jail.
Yes.
Look, I'm not going to say. All I know is you can buy a Mexican prison card on eBay.
So it's a lot easier than we suspect.
Place.
It is, yes. Okay, coming up. Are you upset by the To Kill a Mockingbird sequel? Simple solution: don't read. Just set your DVR to record Red Eye with Tom Shalhoub, and you'll be all set. So, Atticus is racist. Harper Lee's new novel, Go Set a Watch, Man, is a sequel to Kill a Mockingbird, which sounds like a Bond film, but was about civil rights. In the sequel, the sainted dad/lawyer is now kind of racist, and everyone is kind of upset. Now, Sam Shaltane has written an article at Huffington Post entitled, Dear White People, We Are All Atticus Finch. Great. Just when I got used to being Spartacus. Then he informs us we're all racist, even though we just took down the Confederate flag and voted for Barack Obama. I don't think he's talking about all white people. He's talking about American liberals. But the article should have been written, American liberals, we are all Scout Finch. Yes, Scout. The protagonist of To Kill a Mockingbird, who grew up to be, of course, Harper Lee, who now shows her disillusionment with the man she idealized in her first book. The publisher even says, at its heart, it is a coming-of-age story of a young woman who struggles to reconcile the saintly figure of her beloved father with her own more enlightened views. This is the path to American liberalism. Disillusionment with their father, or their father figure, or the founding fathers. They want to replace one ideal with another, government. I always have to remind conservatives, liberals are not bad people. They're good people who just stayed too long under the warm sun lamp of idealism. And they got burned. But instead of blaming themselves, they blamed the bulb. Joe, that was such a brilliant monologue. Yeah.
Those bulb-blaming liberals.
Exactly. I came up with the analogy first, and then I wrote a monologue around it.
Retrofitted.
An energy-efficient bulb burn,
Yeah, exactly. But aren't you tired, Joe, of opening letters that start, Dear White People?
I do. They make it seem like if something says Dear White People, my ears perk up like, oh, that's me. That's me. And to make it even more annoying, even in the headline it paired a Dear White People with We Are All. So two very hackneyed devices in one headline. It was a very incoherent essay. First of all, I didn't vote for Barack Obama, so again, he's put it in the wrong mailbox if he's sending his Dear White People letter to me.
Yeah, he seems to think everyone's like him.
Of course, and that's a classic delusion. But it was very hard to figure out exactly what he was talking about in this piece. But it was nice to see him getting pummeled in the comment section. Even on Huffington Post, people were like, yeah, you're talking some claptrap.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't read the comments.
From what I saw, I looked at the comments.
I never read the comments.
Well, it's a good way to punish yourself and lose faith in humanity.
Yes.
Read the comments. Yeah. Also, this book by Harper Lee, it's sort of like was almost a rough draft for To Kill a Mockingbird, and I think it was almost put together, and there was like a little elder abuse allegations going on that she didn't want this released, and there was I don't know if we should even need to be talking about this book. Well, she had her book.
She certainly took down her sainted character. Jillian, please address my theory. Liberals are just wounded idealists.
I think so. I think they are. And I think what proves it is that my issue with Sam is he wants to spoil this book for all of us. It's the same problem that I have with Wishbone. I mean, huge spoiler alert. I don't care if Atticus Finch, pushes Zoe Barnes in front of a train. I don't care if he goes and chops off Ned Stark's head. I don't want to know about it until I read the book. And I don't like his headline.
Oh, of course, yeah. It does it is a bit of a spoiler alert. Jill.